Good afternoon. Back with more updates from the federal trial of Sean Diddy Combs. Now, when we left off, the court had taken a short break. After that break, prosecutor Maureen Comey accused defense attorney Brian Steele of harassing and humiliating Maya on the stand with yelling, sarcastic, and argumentative questioning. Comey also said the dozens of social media posts Steele has compelled Mia to discuss are cumulative and have nothing to do with her credibility. Judge Arun Subramaniam said he hasn't heard Steele yell or be sarcastic, but agreed that Steele has asked improper argumentative questions. The judge also said he's sustained objections to any improper questions and warned Steele to be mindful not to continue asking argumentative questions that might make it seem like he's doing it purposely for the jury to hear, knowing the question will be struck anyway. That's exactly what he's doing, Judge. Come on now. Open your eyes. The parties then discussed more exhibits Steele wants to submit into evidence during Maya's cross-examination. The jury and a former assistant to Combs, who is testifying under a pseudonym, Maya, then returned to continue the proceedings after the short break. Defense attorney Brian Steele asked Maya, the former assistant, how Combs would have found out about private messages between her and his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura. She said, and I quote, "He has stolen my phone many times. He has stolen Cassie's phone many times. He has put tracking devices on her car." And then she also said, and I quote, "I'm not sure what he's capable of. I was terrified." Let's not forget, he blew up a car, or he had a car blown up. The former assistant to Combs said she was very close with Combs' ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura throughout her employment, but she was not, allowed to tell her the truth about a lot of things. She said, and I quote, "Whatever stuff Puff told me, I had to uphold that. One of the worst parts was being put in the middle and having to cover for Puff to Cass, which he forced me to do constantly." Defense attorney Brian Steele asked Maya if she ever told Ventura that she should leave Combs. "Not in the way I wish I could have," was Maya's response. Maya testified she never told Ventura she had to stay with Combs, but said, and I quote, "I remember covering for him when he forced me to and feeling terrible about it. However, if I didn't, he would have taken me away from her." Maya testified that she never mentioned any sexual assault allegations against Combs in the 2017 mediation over her severance with Combs' company. Defense attorney Brian Steele asked her if she was aware of the hashtag #MeToo movement at the time of the mediation. Maya testified that she was not. The jury saw a message Mia sent Combs for his birthday in 2023. The message included a photo of the two of them, which Mia posted for Combs' birthday in 2014. She testified that she didn't remember sending that message. Mia testified the lawsuit filed by Ventura, Combs' former girlfriend, and one of his accusers against the music mogul was made public 12 days after that message. In her federal lawsuit, Ventura accused Combs of rape and years of abuse. Mia testified that she didn't initially tell prosecutors and federal investigators about the sexual assault allegations against her former boss. She testified that she definitely did not tell them before she had a lawyer. Defense attorney Brian Steele suggested that Maya did not tell the prosecutors about the sexual assault allegations until June of 2024. Maya said, and I quote, "Again, I don't remember the dates, but I do remember the horrible conversation." The former assistant confirmed that she was able to spend time with friends and family while she was working for Combs, but she said those times were few and far between. Defense attorney Brian Steele suggested that she had time where she was outside of Combs' grip and with people she trusted. She said, and I quote, "I was never outside of his grip." She added that even when she was away from her job, she was still expected to be in constant communication 24/7. Steele asked why she didn't tell any of her loved ones about her allegations when she saw them during that period. She said, "It's way more complex than that." Keep in mind that there was a professional who already testified explaining why victims don't do these things. So Steele, you're not are you secretly working for the prosecution? Because I cannot imagine the jury liking what you're doing here. Brian Steele asked if Combs was only violent with his former girlfriend Cassie Ventura on rare occasions. Maya replied the opposite. Steele also asked Maya if Combs was generally a pleasant person to be around. Maya said one of his personalities was pleasant and added, the rest of them, no. The jury dismissed for lunch, and after the lunch break, the defense resumed its cross examination of Maya. And we'll get into what happened from there in part 2, which will be linked in the comment section. Part 2. Maya testified that she worked for music icon and social activist Madonna for about 8 months after she stopped working for Combs in 2017. At the time, Maya said she did not think Combs had blacklisted her. Brian Steele of the defense team finished his cross-examination of Maya, and prosecutor Madison Smizer began questioning Maya on redirect. She finished her testimony and is now off of the stand. Sylvia Oken, the director of sales and marketing at the Beverly Hills Hotel, said she recalled some reservations made by Combs under the alias Frank Black. If you recall from previous testimony, it's one of a trio of aliases he used when booking reservations, specifically at hotels. The jury saw a hotel record that showed Cassie Ventura was listed as an accompanying guest on the reservation. She had full access to the reservation and could change things in the room. Could she though? Could she though? Because once again, from previous testimony, everything that Ventura did had to go through Combs first and get his approval. So could she really make changes? The jury saw 2 bills for Combs' hotel stays addressed to an alias associated with his guest profile. One of them, from May 2015, included a $500 charge for oil damage. Another bill included a $300 charge for cleaning drapes and a fee for going out to pick up 5 candles for Combs. The Beverly Hills Hotel employee Sylvia Oken is now off the stand, and the defense team briefly cross-examined her, and prosecutors didn't have any questions for redirect, and the jury has now been dismissed for the day. So, Puppers and I will have more for you tomorrow. He's not a fan of Diddy. Are you?